Joining us now is Okpe with stories trending around the world.
Good morning.
I apologize on his behalf. Today is Friday. It's my day. It's our day. How are you?
I was great until
Ojinika,
you just triggered the headache. How are you, Oji?
I'm doing well. Good morning to you, Rufai. How are you?
Morning.
Great.
Dr. Batty, please. Nobody will kill your excitement.
Okay. Good morning to you, viewers. Let's begin what's trending with reactions trailing the arrest of Nigeria's former Deputy Senate President Ike Ekweremadu and his wife Beatrice by the United Kingdom's Metropolitan Police on Thursday. The couple were arraigned for conspiracy to arrange the travel of a child, potential modern slavery, and organ harvesting. The case, which has been adjourned till July 7th, has garnered several reactions after their bail application was denied, and a letter dated December 28, 2021, surfaced online in which the senator allegedly wrote to the British High Commission in Abuja in support of a visa applicant named Ukpo David, who was scheduled to donate a kidney to his daughter, Sonia Ekweremadu, said to be currently suffering from a kidney ailment. Well, let's take some reactions. This is from Dr. Penking, who wrote, Ike Ekweremadu has 3 other children, apart from Sonia, who needed the kidney transplant. Concerning organ donation, family members are the best option. But no, our dear senator didn't want to tamper with any of his children. He needed a homeless boy. Life is cruel. Well, Vince wrote that Senator Ike Ekweremadu and Nneka Ekweremadu are facing allegations and charges does not make them guilty. The UK Magistrate Court will test the case. The Met Police will complete investigations, facts checked, and court judgment passed. That judgment must be awaited first. Well, Aisha Yusufu wrote, the fact that another child is said to be involved is what has really gotten people riled up. If it was an adult going to donate an organ, there would have been sympathy. This looks as if he wanted to take another child's life to save that of his child. In another tweet she wrote, how many missing people are related to organ harvesting? How many such cases have been happening in countries where they do not care and corruption is rife? How many are happening here? This is scary. While I catch my breath, Rufai, I would like for you to comment on Aisha Yusufu's last tweet, because this case has really opened up a lot of different topics, including organ harvesting.
I mean, there's a big ecosystem for it. I think it was Reuters that brought out a report as regards that in 2020. Even before then, we've had many reports in this country. And please give it to Nigerian media. You know, we investigate these things, we put it out there. It's when something happens, oh, Nigerian media has not been doing anything. We've seen, you know, copious documentaries on organ harvesting in this country. I mean, we've heard of the Malaysia phenomenon, where young boys go to Malaysia to sell their kidney and their parts, and they come back here and they become millionaires.
Yeah.
That was the intent at a point in time. Fair question she raised about how many of these things are related to organ, harvesting. We might not know, but a lot might be related to it. We've had many things like that. But what are the facts of the matter? We need to go back to the facts of the matter. The facts of the matter by the prosecutor says 15-year-old involved. It was said that he was 21, but they discovered he was 15. Ike Ekweremadu involved. That's the part of the prosecutor. The defense is saying there's more than meets the eye in the case. Let's wait till it pans out. I think we should all wait, because you see, I saw a lot of things going on social media. I even saw the picture of somebody being put forward and say, okay, that's the boy. Another Facebook page came out to say that, no, that's my brother, that's not the person. A lot of things are flying around. We can't verify. It's hot stories, hot news. Everybody wants to jump on it, but we don't have the facts. I think a lot of things will be clear from the 7th of July when the case has been adjourned to. We'll see when they probably enter a plea. We'll see how all of this pans out. Most importantly, let's not also forget that the child is there. All right? She needs a kidney. She's at the point of death as we speak. She's been going through this for a while. Let's not also forget, in balancing things out, that a 15-year-old is involved. It could go either ways. It is collectively a story of pain, across board.
Right. Yeah, I understand the fact that you're saying that let's hold our fire, but the fact is there was an arrest made.
Yes.
And then there is also the letter that was alleged to be written by the senator.
We can independently verify that letter.
Yes, who applied to the British High Commission requesting for a visa for this young man called Ukpo Mwamini David. Like you said, you cannot independently verify this letter, but it does appear that there was a case that was presented in court yesterday where a boy allegedly said that he was, pulled up for organ harvesting, Tundu Abiola.
It's a very dark story, and inevitably there's now a trial by social media which has gone far ahead of the actual criminal trial in London that's been adjourned to the 7th of July. As far as a lot of people are concerned, the Ekweremadus are guilty. They've made themselves into judge, jury, and executioner. And I think that should be avoided. We shouldn't always feel the need to opine when we don't have all the facts. But it's because the subject matter of it is just so dark and so deeply disturbing. I did wonder why some people were equating organ harvesting, which is dark enough, with ritual killing. But one of the tweets that you read just said that people are upset because they want to save their own child by taking the life of another child.
So the tweet read that the Ekweremadus have 3 other children. If you were to present for organ donation, usually it's the family members that are the first to go for that type of option. So if they couldn't take the organ from their 3 other children, why would they want to take, from another child?
So that's that there was a match or an issue?
So that was just a thought.
Huge assumptions that people are making from out of the clear blue sky. I really don't understand what the factual basis is. I would just prefer personally to just wait. The whole situation is horrendous because, like I said this earlier this morning in the news headlines, there is a sick young lady involved here. And there's also a very serious allegation about abuse of a minor. And a minor cannot offer consent. It's the same reason why a minor, even statutory rape exists. A minor cannot give you consent legally. So it's extremely disturbing. And I think really people should just tread carefully on this issue.
Yes. Dr. Abati.
Okay. Well, in one of the tweets you read, one person there said that the issue is that the Ekweremadus wanted to take another person's life to save their own. Well, that's not what organ transplantation is all about. Organ transplantation is just donation of an organ from one person to the other. It doesn't necessarily lead to the death of the donor. Okay, and I think it's important, and that was why I quoted earlier on Farouk Perogi, who wrote a piece on this dimension of it, to say that, look, organ transplantation is not ritual sacrifice, which is a different subject entirely. The second thing that has come up here is that is a point made by many commentators about persons seeking asylum. We're told that it was at the hospital that the alleged 15-year-old then told the doctor that he was a minor. And then maybe the doctor raised an alarm to that effect. And the boy, we were told, started asking for asylum. Nigerians will ask for asylum for anything. And that was one of the points made by our guest, Mr. Babandede, when he was saying that some will even say, they were being pursued by Fulani herdsmen, or Nigeria has done something to them and they want to have an asylum. In due course, I guess that, whatever is the truth in that regard will come out. The third point is the letter that you referred to twice. The letter written to the British High Commission. It's titled Medical Visa Application. It's right there. And the alleged 15-year-old is named there.
Yes.
And it's because his identity was disclosed that some people have been putting photographs here
together, correct. Yeah.
However, if this letter is genuine, and in the last 24 hours, nobody has said,
debunked it,
that it's false and that the British High Commission never received a letter like this, then it will serve the purpose of establishing that there was full disclosure and that the involvement between the Ekweremadus and the Mwamini David fellow, that there's no criminal intent behind it. But, as we have said again and again on this program, people should refrain from, trial by media. Nigerians, once they hear one side of the story, they run with it. But at the same time, I've seen a lot of people saying that, look, give the Ekweremadus the benefit of the doubt. Incidentally, they are in a system where they can get a very good legal support. Okay, within the international system, can get good legal support from anywhere. And we hope that, even as they have their day in court, that all their rights, due rights, will be protected and respected.
Well said, Dr. Bati. We'll take another story. A Lagos-based human rights lawyer, Malcolm Omiri-Hobo, on Thursday set social media abuzz after he appeared before the Supreme Court dressed as a semi-lawyer and a traditionalist. The lawyer, who is from Delta State, claimed to have been expressing his fundamental human rights following a recent verdict by the Apex Court, which legalized the wearing of hijab in schools. Well, let's take a listen to what he had to say in court yesterday.
By the Supreme Court judgment, I've been given license to dress in our religious attire because it would be an infringement or a violation, a flagrant violation of my fundamental rights to freedom of thought, conscience, and religion for anybody to stop you. So I went into the Supreme Court, and we've been given the license. Even my children would dress like this to the school, and I will encourage my fellow traditionalists, those who are serving Oloku, and Shango and Shopono, God of thunder, God of iron. I will encourage them to dress like this because it's always good to be religious. We need to be close to the spirits. You can see I'm not wearing any shoes. In fact, if I has told me that if I wear shoes, I'll be dead. So what will I do? I have to obey the spirits. You see this eye? If without it, I can't see the evil spirits coming to attack me. So with this, I can see them. So you see, we've been given license by the Supreme Court judgment of Friday. We've been given the license to dress in our religious outfits because it's the mood. It's the mood of our worship. Nobody can do it. Nobody. Even the president can. Buhari can't arrest me. In my own fundamental rights, nobody can. It's my fundamental rights. Sure, this is my outfit. I can stand anywhere. This is my outfit. What is alien? There's no law, Section 45 of the Constitution that derogates the right to freedom of, the rights in Chapter 4 generally, which includes the right to freedom of religion. It's not clear he said there should be a law that can derogate this my right. And there's no law in Nigeria. There's no even law in the Legal Practitioner Act that derogates or tells me how I'm going to dress.
All right, Dr. Bati, I'm coming over to you on this story.
Okay,
he's saying he's not protesting, by the way.
Yes, he said so. And there was a lot of comic relief yesterday. Yeah. When he got into the Supreme Court, we were told that their lordships had gone on recess. Then they came back, saw him. They quickly took one notice of appeal, which they dismissed, and went on another break. And it was after that he had the opportunity to talk to the press. He's referring to that 2016 case, right?
Yes.
It's as far back as 2016, or is it, involving one Asiat and the Lagos State government. The Court of First Instance struck the case out. It went to the Court of Appeal. When it got to the Court of Appeal, 3 judges, led by Justice Amina Ogi, as she then was, led a panel of 3. Then the counsel for the respondents then drew attention to the fact that, look, it was an all-Muslim panel. So the panel, a full panel was then constituted of 5. And then they ruled in favor of the, appeal. And they said, look, full panel and all of that. Eventually, the substantive appeal went all the way to the Supreme Court in March this year. And there was also a full panel of 7. So what the gentleman is doing, Malcolm Omori-Hobo, is doing is to test the law, although in a rather comical manner. To say that if Section 38 says, yes, you have freedom of thought and religion, which is what was upheld in that Supreme Court ruling in that matter, and Section 42 says you cannot be discriminated against on the basis of anything. So the man took the matter into his own hands and appeared as an Olokun priest, as a herbalist in front of the Supreme Court. Well, the Supreme Court justices, maybe I hope they got his message. His message is that this is the logical effect of that ruling on the wearing of hijab on top of a school uniform, and this was his own way of testing it. However, their lordships could have acted differently because there's regulation dressing in, for legal practice, and that certainly would not fit putting feathers in the wig or, putting something on your feet and wearing red, like a dibia. Of course, they could have charged him for contempt of court. Okay, because what he did was contemptuous. But maybe themselves saw the implications of the conduct of the counsel that came to court like a herbalist. Because after all, if you look at his lordship, the Chief Justice of Nigeria, he wears a cap on top of his head. Is that part of regulation dressing for the Judex? And nobody has ever called out the CJN to say, what is this cap doing on top of his suit? You could stretch it in any direction. However, another way that the counsel in this case could have gone about it would have been to apply for a judicial review of that Supreme Court judgment. And, you go back to the same principle that, yes, the Supreme Court is not infallible because it is final. The Supreme Court can also make mistakes. The only thing is that the Supreme Court can reverse itself. But the danger in that is that religion is a very sensitive matter in Nigeria. If you allow the hijab for a group, then of course maybe tomorrow somebody will come to the Supreme Court as a masquerade.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Or somebody will come there, dressed in another funny manner. In fact, the gentleman is even recommending that teachers, maybe even broadcasters.
Oh, yes.
When they are going to work, they should dress the way they like. No, because the Supreme Court has given them power. So, don't be surprised if somebody shows up on Nigerian television one day dressed like an Eyo masquerade.
What is masquerade?
As a broadcaster.
Yes.
But the more important thing is about, every profession has its own dress codes. But this has happened before. In law school, there was a lady who wore the hijab to the law school. There was also an hijab incident in Ilorin, with the state government and some mission schools and all of that. Now, this is the really ridiculous extent of that particular matter. The law sometimes, they say, can be an ass.
Well, I think that he made his point quite clear, really. I mean, I hope that he does apply for a judicial review, but this video went viral, and it just goes to show that there's so many different ways to interpret the law. Tundu Abiola.
Yeah, well, that quote you just said is from Charles Dickens. It's a character called Mr. Bumble, and he said if the law presumes that his wife has to listen to him, the law is an ass. And it's been quoted so many times. But I don't see him applying for judicial review. He's not protesting. He loves it. He's inviting everybody else to join in. And let's all slide down the slippery slope.
Why not?
With the slippery slope argument, this for me is a perfect illustration. When you allow one hijab, then you can end up here. It can just go, the thin end of the wedge leads to the thick end of the wedge, and that's just what it is. But for me, what is more important is why lawyers in Nigeria are still wearing wigs in the first case. Because it did start off as a way for people to cover baldness from syphilis. Royalty, like Louis XIV and King Charles II. So I don't know why we still wear that here. It's too hot. I think that we should think about binning that. Like the English have done, even the English that we borrowed that from, they don't have to wear their wigs anymore. Even in the Supreme Court, they only wear wigs for criminal cases. So maybe we should consider that. I think that is a worthy conversation to have.
Absolutely.
Like both of you have said, let's test it out.
Right.
Let people go out and wear free attire. Because you see, when we start these things, we don't know the repercussions. And I don't think we should sweep that matter under the carpet, because in those protests, people actually were hurt. In those protests in Ilorin and in Osun State, people were hurt from those protests.
Yes.
Because, it happened in Ilorin, it happened in Osun State, and it keeps happening everywhere. And only for you to get a ruling like this, and you say people shouldn't test it. I think they should. I don't even think they should apply for judicial review of any sort. No. Let everybody go wild and mad.
No, that wouldn't be nice.
I mean, we want to, right? Because you see, I know there's a big sentiment behind religion, but this country cannot thrive if we don't respect the sensitivity of religion, if we don't respect other people. And the last time I checked, please correct me, the lawyers in the house, isn't Nigeria a secular state?
Well, the Constitution doesn't explicitly state that, but it is a secular state. We don't have a state religion.
Okay, we don't have a state religion.
Section 10.
Mm-hmm.
So,
right?
Yes, we don't have a state religion in this country. And if we don't have a state religion, then you look at some things that are done in this country, you wonder what is happening here. So it's not an ordinary matter.
Yeah.
It's a matter that led to closure of schools. Schools are supposed to be a place for integration, universality of ideas, but people were more concerned about what they wore to school because of religion. And now you're saying this man shouldn't test it out. He should go all out. Everybody, please, if you have Igbe, wear it. No, because you see, it's a laughable matter, but if you were to think of the matter, we wouldn't laugh this much. If you were a parent in those schools that would be pelted by stones just because of dressing, we wouldn't laugh about it. It's a serious matter. So it's a good protest.
Well said, Rufai. All right, then we shall take our final story. The music challenge Buga by Nigerian Afrobeats musician Kizz Daniel continues to gain momentum. Last month, we presented a video where the governor of Lagos State, Babajide Sanwo-Olu, was dancing to the hit song after clinching the governorship ticket of the All Progressives Congress. And now, football legend and the president of Libera, Weah, has cut the bug. In this video that has since gone viral, the president was seen dancing to the song during the 17th anniversary of the Congress for Democratic Change, which honors Liberians. Let's take a look. Well, after that event, it appears the president wanted to show more of his dance moves, this time alone, in what looks like a hotel room. Let's take a look. Tundu, you weren't here the last time Dr. Abati was dancing to the Buga on national television. So we have to give you the dance challenge. You have to just do the shoulder. No, you will not decline.
I will decline, and I just did. You go ahead.
Well, I'm not ashamed to dance on television.
Go right ahead.
Dr. Abati, go ahead with the story of Judge Weah. Fantastic.
What this shows again is the level of acceptability, that young Nigerians, very creative, belting out very solid work, either in music or in other aspects of creative industry. Buga Challenge has gone to the presidency in Liberia, and we have presidents dancing. The other day we saw, Nigerian musicians also, making impact in the United States and elsewhere. The point is, music is a universal language.
Yes.
It knows no boundaries. I'm not sure that President Weah knows the meaning of the words, but he could respond to the rhythm. He could respond to it because music speaks to our basic instincts, as members of a global community of emotions along the affective and cognitive range. So congratulations to Kizz Daniel.
Again, and he just released his visuals for his Buga.
You have a task to teach Tundu how to do Buga.
You know I will. I'm taking it out.
I was watching Arraigned News, obviously, this morning, and it says that Buga is the most Shazammed song
amazing.
In the world.
Yes, that's amazing.
Well done.
Rufai loves the challenge as well. He's not ashamed to do the Buga.
I'm really very excited.
Yes.
For me, the part I'm seeing in all of this is Nigerian young people are helping to sell our cultural power, our soft power to the world. It just remains for our leadership to sell the economic viability of Nigeria, because Nigeria's culture is accepted everywhere in the world. And this is sipping in, and this makes them see Nigeria in a good light. These are true ambassadors.
Yeah, fantastic.
Many years ago, Professor Ade Adefuye, now of blessed memory, wrote a book on how culture can be used as a tool of diplomacy. But has anybody listened? Are the people making the policies, have they even ever heard of the book, not to talk of reading it?
Well, all right. Thank you always for your beautiful analysis. And you all have a great weekend. Tundu, I'm taking you out for the dance, for the Buga dance challenge.
You're trying to help my dry existence. Thank you.
Thank you. That's all I have. Well, that's all I have for you on What's Trending today. I'll see you all next week.